Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Saturday morning, the 15th of February. It's a Nedbank Cup. It's happening. A lot of games coming in and so on. And then we are continuing with our discussion of football. There is also a big one, Newcastle United versus Man City. What a big game. Not only that, there is also Man United and Tottenham Hotspurs. You know that the two teams are struggling. Let me welcome Pete. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution, the Sports Forum. Pete, welcome to the show and greet the viewers. Let's get going.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, everybody. Welcome. Good to be back.
It would have been nice to have Dave, a Man United fan, but a man has to do what a man has to do. So yeah, it's fine. Sure. And then I had already arranged with Chara Galfora, a Sundowns fan, Malekere, but I don't know, maybe he's struggling to hook up. And then I'm trying to call him on the sides, and then I'm struggling to reach him. Saddam is not available, and then so he's busy. Now, there's a lot to discuss. I'll give you the results of, the fixtures of the Nedbank Cup so that you can see for yourself. And but today, there are two things that I want us to discuss. There are a section of supporters of Orlando Pirates who are saying this could be an opportune moment for the coach of Orlando Pirates to introduce Saleng. The reason being, they are playing Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Quarter Final. Now, remember, if a player has not been playing for too long, match fitness becomes an issue. Now, we are not sure whether this will work out because we understand there are problems around the issue of Saleng. We haven't seen him for a while. There are problems. There are so many stories flying all over the show. And then we don't even get the news from Orlando Pirates, all right? To share. The stories are Saleng, he wanted to leave. There were so many stories. At some point, we were told that he has joined Chiefs and so on, social media. He has joined Chiefs and Saleng. He's not happy because he was supposed to go to the Saudis with an offer of 13 million a month. And then they said Pirates rejected that. So the boy is not happy because the boy is still contracted to Orlando Pirates. And then, so where is his head if that is the case? Will it help? And then having watched Orlando Pirates, they were not missing Saleng. But the last game where they were hammered, so the Pirates fans were saying, maybe we needed Saleng, to deal with Sundown. That's one part of the discussion. Another one is this one. Kaizer Chiefs have released Ditlhokwe, a Botswana international. They've released him. We are told that they cash in between 16 and 15 million rand. We're not sure which one is which. And remember, Chiefs got this player for free from SuperSport United. So it's a good business for Chiefs. And then we hear so many stories. Apparently, Kaizer Jr. said the release of him, it was based on a number of factors. He has not played too many games. He's injury prone. And then, so they had to make a decision. And the other thing is, they were getting this offer that he will give you 16 million rand or 15 million rand, whichever way you see it, from whichever publication. So now he has been sold now. The question is, will Chiefs live to regret the decision? Remember, Chiefs, they are building. They're still building. As per the coach, they're still building. Now here they've released the player, Ditlhokwe, and then now the question is, will they live to regret the decision? Was it a good decision looking at the money side of it? Looking at the fact that the player has not been playing much due to injuries and so on. And then Kaiser Jr. said they discussed with him, they asked him, the boy was keen to go and explore, his fortune outside of the country. So now that's a decision, a very tough one to make. As the chairman of Chiefs, as the management of Chiefs, you're struggling, you're building the team, and here's money is coming, and all those reasons that I gave, but we have to release. Okay, so I don't know which one. Now, Pete, I don't know, you're not well versed with the local football. Now, let's talk in terms of hypothetical, taking what I've said to you. Is it a good move for Pirates coach to do Saleng? And then not knowing where his psyche is. All right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he obviously wants to play him because of his talent, yeah? But the thing is, talent means nothing if his head's not in the game. Now, if his head's somewhere in the Arab states, then, the potential for this, 13 million or whatever you could earn a month. And now, the club has now said to him, well, you're not going, basically. Is he likely now to put his best foot forward, as it were, to play for the club? I'm sometimes wondering myself on that one, Saubrey. So would it be a good decision? Well, the thing is about it, you can put him on the team, and if you see he's not playing, there's always a substitution option there. But the guy's obviously talented, so maybe give him a chance. Maybe, at the end of the day, we all at one or other stage drift in, from a motivation perspective. So this player is no different, yeah? He's no different. He wanted to go. Maybe now he knows he can't go. Maybe he's going to realign his thinking, and maybe he's going to play for the team. So we've seen many examples of that in other leagues. Yeah? So it's a tough decision, I must admit. It's a gamble, but and this would be for the CAF game or for the Nedbank Cup.
This is for the Nedbank Cup this afternoon. This afternoon they're playing the Nedbank Cup. So
Baraka FC, yeah.
Yeah, the argument is let him play to regain that match fitness.
It has to be that way, doesn't it?
So that next week when they play Mamelodi Sundowns, although it will be a very short time, you play this week, next week you're playing the big boys, tough boys. Would he have regained that match fitness? Okay.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if I look at De Bruyne by example, if I look at Kevin De Bruyne by example, he's been struggling to get up to match fitness because of his absence in the team from time to time. So it's probably a bit short, when you're going to play the top of the league, the next week. Is one game enough? Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, and I remember one coach saying to me, you can't enjoy your football if you're not fit.
Well,
and that's true.
My argument is also on the fact that if your mind is not there.
Yes, yeah.
The
mental and the physical.
The mind for me is very stronger than anything else. If your mind is not there, I'm a little bit worried. But Buccaneers outside there, you tell us, what do you think? What's your take? Should Pirates risk and play Saleng today, give him match fitness, so that next week when you play Mamelodi Sundowns, because that's a big one. In other words, my wish has been defeated. I wanted both of them to the finals. But I think these guys, they structure it in such a way that local teams or same country teams, they don't proceed to the finals the way it is structured. So it was too soon for them to meet now. And next week we'll be talking about that one because that's a big one. And I hope Sandawana will join me. Malekere, I would have loved to have him today. Now, that's
so one. Yeah, so the decision, probably, if you're asking my opinion on that one, probably yes. it's a good idea based on the opposition that they're playing today. I think
Yeah,
there's an opportunity there. Yeah,
there's an
I would say
opportunity. Yeah.
give him a go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me hear you, fans out there, and then tell me what is happening. Malekara tells me that he's in Fantasdorp. Network is messing him up. That is why he could not join. It would have been nice because he's a Sundowns fan. And then I can only get him on Saturday, but we'll talk next week Saturday. It's a big one. Now, Kaizer Chiefs, they had to make a very big decision. I've already told you the background.
Yep.
Do you
Yep.
think it will be
Yeah.
a decision Kaizer Chiefs will leave to hate or regret? Or it was a good decision business-wise?
Business-wise, probably a good decision because if the player is a bit injury-prone, then eventually he's not going to perform, is he? Because of his injury, he's going to be out and all that sort of thing. So that there's been once again many a player that you can relate to, and I'm going to bring it back to Man City. You remember when Man City they got rid of Aguero? I wouldn't say get rid of him, but they let him go.
Yes.
Yeah, and then what happened? What happened shortly afterwards? He developed this heart condition of his, and So sometimes there's a story behind the story, and we don't always see what that is. But I think the clubs and the way that they're structured these days with their medical staff, etc., etc. I'm sure they made an informed decision there. I think that's probably it. But will they learn to regret that? Only time will tell there, I would say.
Only time will tell. Yeah, only time will tell. We'll watch the space very closely and see what's going to happen. This is the big game that I'm talking about. It's next week, Thursday, on the 20th, a quarter final, Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. Remember that Sundowns have just lost against TS Galaxy. So now maybe that would have been probably one of the good decisions. And then before I move further, let me just share the fixture of the Nedbank Cup because this is the fixture for today and over the weekend. So yeah, SuperSport Cape Town Spurs, and we know that I think SuperSport has won. I think I've received the results for that one. Still is, I think, playing Pulugwane. That was the last 16. And then I'm sure all of them now, because of the Nedbank Cup. And there's also some of the news whereby, and there is this issue that Kaizer Chiefs is the most winner of this tournament, which is Nedbank Cup. So, which makes them a super team, Kaizer Chiefs, as far as this cup is concerned. Look, Kaizer Chiefs have won this cup 13 times, Orlando Pirates 10 times, and then Sundowns 6 times. And then, I know that neck on neck, Pirates and Chiefs in terms of supporters, but it's a known fact that Chiefs is leading when it comes to supporters. And the way they position the brand, that is well known. But I don't think the gap is too much between them and Orlando Pirates. And Sundowns are still catching up. But in terms of the field of play, a 10-year-old now, I'm sure knows Sundowns more than these two teams. They will know these two teams because of tradition and the family.
Yeah, sure.
The father is supporting Chiefs, is supporting Pirates, and then the child was introduced to those concepts. But in terms of winning, because people support the winning team, they know Mamelodi Sundowns more than any other team. It's like you and Man United, for the past 10 years, the young stars of those, they know Man City more than Man United. Yes, Man United is still a phenomenon. As I've already said, in terms of the tradition and the culture and the family background, that has an influence. And in England, it's different. In England, teams are being supported by their own community. So that has played a major role. So yeah,
Sure.
so that's it. Now, we'll watch the space very, very closely and see what's going to happen. But before I move on to discuss the the Man City and Newcastle, which is a very big game that should be watched closely, let me just indicate that we are a financial company. And then if you want to learn more about finance or you want to be mentored, just drop us a WhatsApp. You'll see the WhatsApp number and then and say, look, I just want to be mentored. Then we'll allow you to do so. So that, because I strongly believe that people learn by, empowering themselves in terms of financial education. That's how I found my problem, how I solved them. Pete, when people continue to have an issue, money problem is there all the time. It's not a problem. I always like comparing. When you look at China in 1990, it was the poorest country, all right? In 1990, it's not far. And then there were poor Chinese. They were getting little money. They were sacrificing. Today, China is the second biggest economy, if not the biggest economy. They say America has about 21 trillion US dollars as their GDP. And then China is at 18 as their GDP. With this,
big numbers.
With this new geopolitics that is developing of BRICS and all that, China will soon overtake United States. Yes, I see Donald Trump is coming up. He wants to fight back, telling about the dollar and so on. I don't know whether he's going to win that war, but let's watch the space. Yeah. Pete, let's talk about Man City.
Before we move on there, I don't see any upsets in the Nedbank Cup today. I don't see any upsets. If I look at, I see Amazulu winning, I see Pirates winning, I see Chiefs winning, and I see Sundowns winning their games.
Let me share that.
If I look at the fixtures.
Let me share that the fixture. You see Amazulu winning. Let's see.
Yep. They're playing Marumo Gallants FC.
Yeah. And then you see who else?
Orlando Pirates Baraka FC. These are all the 3 o'clock games today,
Yeah. And then
we've got Kaizer Chiefs against Chippa. Chippa United.
Yeah.
And then we got Mamelodi Sundowns.
Kaizer Chiefs, Chippa United.
Oh no, though Kaizer Chiefs are going to take that. I don't see any. Yeah. And then Sundowns against Mafani.
Yeah. Which is a win. But remember when you play these teams. These teams are there. They have everything to win and nothing to lose.
Yes. Well, the expectation is they're going to lose, so.
Yeah.
And so they go for it full on. So I don't see a shock, but let's see the games and let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Now let's go Man City and Newcastle, a big one. And Newcastle, they are a team that has, they're
on the up.
Yeah. But you know what? I expected long time Newcastle to be up. Because we were told that the owner of Man City is far richer than the owner of Newcastle is far richer than the owner of Man City. But the approach that he took, he didn't want to buy stars. He was very conservative in his approach. I don't know whether it was a working formula or what, but if you look at that formula and you look at the formula of Man United are the big spenders. And they're still struggling. And they've been the big spenders even since the time of Soldier, if you remember quite well. So they've spent a lot of money. That is why the Glazers wanted to buy and so on. So I don't know whether there's no formula. Which one is best? Spend more or spend less? And then in Africa, the big spender is Mamelodi.
From my opinion. if you're asking my opinion, I mean, it's about TBR, isn't it? It's spend wisely.
Yeah, spend wisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You spend wisely, but you get the results.
There's you can't really say, one or the other. I mean, look at if you look at the difference between the teams. You can't buy a team. That's a reality.
No, no.
You can buy a team, and sometimes it might work, but it doesn't work. You've got to blend the superstars with the young talent. And if I look at that, if I look at Bruno Dumoulin, he was going to go. He was going to come. The City were trying to get hold of that guy. But what a team they are at the moment. These guys, yeah. It's going to be a very, very interesting close game. I think that one. Man City being at home, but look, they'd come off the back of losing to Real Madrid, and again they committed suicide. They committed suicide. They with 80 minutes, 2-1 up. They should have taken that over the line. But what happened? Two stupid mistakes.
Now,
back. So from a confidence perspective, if you compare the two teams, if you look at the confidence perspective from the two teams, even with the home advantage, I think psychologically I'm going to give it to Newcastle, because of their confidence levels versus the Man City's team at the moment. They're running very nervous at the moment, and that's why they're making mistakes. Whereas if you look at Newcastle, they just go for it, and they play a very direct football. I think it'll be interesting because as Man City play the possession game. The possession game, you need the ball if you're going to score. But this was a difficult one to call. I think one goal in it for me. If you're going to push me to who's going to get that one goal.
Tell me.
I'm going to have to think with my heart here and say Man City.
Tell me the loss to Real Madrid. What would you take? You guys have just sold Walker, all right?
Yeah.
That's another question. Do you think it was a good move? Because I'm sure
in the long term, yes.
In the long term, yes. Had you kept Walker, maybe you could have, done something brilliant there. But unfortunately, you lost Walker, as I say. And then...
and you can't, for me, you can't play Rico Lewis as a fullback. He's just not strong enough.
Yeah.
Walker would have been stronger physically.
Yeah.
Rico Lewis is more skillful, but he's quite easily bumped off the ball. So, and I think if you look at the one goal, that's the one that I think was the first one that went in. Yeah, he should have played Kushinov there, the new guy, I think. So yeah, question mark about that alignment of the team there during that game. And the other one, well, it was the second goal, wasn't it? Where Rico Lewis, the first goal came as a mistake from Edison at the back there, distributing the ball. Normally very good, but this time he went straight to the Real Madrid side, and they're so talented on the break. And I don't see Man City winning that return leg either. At best, I think there's a draw coming there, and then the confidence to go to Real Madrid, it's not where it needs to be. The talent's there, so you never know. On a good day, it could happen, but
having lost to a big team like Real Madrid is not a disappointment. Now let's look at Man United and Tottenham Hotspur. Who do you think will? Because I think these two teams, they really need a win. Man United is struggling.
Both of them.
Tottenham Hotspur is also struggling. But Tottenham Hotspur, they haven't come of age. Tottenham and Arsenal, I don't know. Arsenal, yes, they're at number 2, but these two teams, Arsenal was even better as far as I'm concerned during the time of what's the name?
Wenger.
Arsene Wenger. With Wenger, we knew very well that they're not going to have big stars. Wenger will always bring young stars, and they made a lot of money. And Wenger built a stadium for them. And Wenger made it sure that Every year they were in the Champions League. Every year. So the policy was quite clear. It's like Jomo Sono. Jomo Sono said, "My policy of Cosmos, people don't understand it. I groom players and sell, and that has made him one of the rich guys." All right, he said, "I groom players and sell. I groom players and sell." Although you can say, that's a very selfish position because he thinks for himself. What about the supporters of the team and so on? You know. So with Wenger, it was quite clear what he wanted. You know, they had very little money to compete with your Man United, your big boys, and then he said, "No, I'll groom players and sell," and he did well as far as that is concerned. And I think they made a mistake by letting him go because after that they had the balance sheet. They were on the positive. They should allow him to continue to say, "Now we want you to win and see how far can it go." But if I look at Arsenal now, well, they win, but it's not Arsenal that I used to enjoy during the time of Wenger. So I don't know whether you agree with me. Tottenham Hotspur, they've been strugglers for many years, many years. So
this season's no example. No difference really.
pardon?
If you look at the relative league positions, Man United above Tottenham Hotspur. Whoever wins there goes above each other, and you know they're both sort of like teetering on that lower half of the league, which will push them down depending on results, obviously, of the other teams. Really important game, that one. And likewise, if you take it back to the Man City Newcastle game, Man City are above Newcastle, but if you look at the stats there, basically a Man City are above them on the fact of alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So again, it's really important in order to keep in touch with that upper top half of the top four, shall we say? You know, in order to qualify for Champions League, because realistically, I think there's no way back from Man City in that to win the league there. But did you see Everton Liverpool game during the week? And that was 2-2.
Yeah, I didn't
So
watch.
Liverpool dropped points again, eh?
That's it. Yeah.
Liverpool dropped points again, and if you look at the fixtures today, they entertain Wolves at home, so that should be an easy win, I think, for Liverpool. But you never know. You never know.
I never know. We'll never know.
And then Leicester entertain Arsenal today. So, in theory, that's 3 points for both of those teams. But what is going through Liverpool's mind there at the moment there? Because they lost in the FA Cup recently. They've now dropped a point now. It could be a turning point these games today.
Yeah.
So we look with interest. We look with interest.
Yeah, you know, it would be nice.
But either way, what's his name? Goglapostu or whatever his name is for Tottenham or Amarin. If there's a loose situation there, both of them will feel the pressure. I think more so Ange Postecoglou. If Tottenham lose today at home, and they've recently gone out of the FA Cup, as we know. I think his position is gonna be somewhat threatened there. More so, I think, than Amarin. Amarin's still new on the block. He's still the new kid on the block there, so he's had mixed results. But again, they're doing well in Europe, so we watch. What's your take on those two games, Sobs?
Well, I'm a little bit worried. You know, it's difficult now to make a prediction. Looking at whoever thought that Chelsea will be struggling like this after spending so much money. Even yesterday, it's another loss. So now everything becomes unpredictable. So it becomes a very nice football now because it's unpredictable now.
Yes. And maybe another thing of note there. Karl Havertz, Arsenal's up-front striker, is injured now. I'm not sure how long he's out for, what they injured, but again, that's another knock for Arsenal. You know, this time of the season gets really interesting in terms of fixtures build up. You know, if you within the 4 competitions, and also the English weather is not the best, and also injuries start to play a role, and fitness over the season, the squad sizes, that sort of thing there. So yeah, I think today's games will be will tell a story. I think at the top. Yeah.
We'll watch the game very closely. Pete, let me just
Yes.
tell them the news, and then I'll send you the message now. Let me tell them the news. In the meantime, remember, we want to educate people. This is one of the books that I wrote, How I Turned 500 Rand into a Million Rand Business. And then if you want to learn there, take it here. And then, you know, somebody sent me a WhatsApp last night, said, I hear that the Chavala, you are saying, if you want to make money, you must run your own business. And that's what I'm saying. And business is tough. Business is tough. It's not easy. But business is it's a very good approach. Because if you look at the richest people in the world, all of them are running business. The top 10, they are running business. So that tells you that the business class is it's the best one. But it's tough. You need to be very supported in terms of the team that advises you, because there's quite a lot. You know, they say if you are making 150,000 a month as an employee, as a businessman, you must times that by 6 because of the expenses,
including the work hours.
Yeah,
including the work hours. Yeah.
Overheads, and all that.
Yeah.
And also in terms of your temperament, your ability to handle stress of not having money, because as a businessman you must create your own money. If there is no money, you cannot go to and say, I want the money to be raised. So so you need to learn from other people and see. So that is one of the books that is you can get it from us. And then there's also this one by a very good friend of mine, Dr. Darlene Small, The Art of Money. How to Win the World Game. And then Dr. Small worked for Reserve Bank for 33 years. So it's better to learn from people like that. So those are some of the good news that we have. Now, before I leave, Pete, you know Saddam. Saddam would always share me the news. Pete, I know that you have to leave, so I have to release you. But maybe it's time to say goodbye and farewell to the listeners, and thank you for taking part. I know this is your time. You're very busy. All right.
Sure. Yes. Cheers, Saubrey, and to the viewers. And until next time.
I wish you good luck this afternoon.
Thanks, man.
Is it this afternoon or tomorrow?
5 o'clock. Yeah.
5 o'clock. Okay. I wish you good luck.
Yeah. I haven't been biting my nails for a while, but I think I might be starting again this afternoon.
I'll watch. Good luck.
All right,
Thank you so
cheers,
much.
man.
Much
Bye.
appreciated. Thank you, Pete.
Bye, guys.
You're more than welcome to go. And in the meantime, let me just indicate to people that remember, I said Saddam always give his news, and then I always say to people, if you share the news, I'll definitely share them. If you don't share the news, I won't share them. So Saddam has the time to send me what they are doing as a branch. He's a very committed somebody. And then, as you can see, they are preparing their game with Chippa United. And then those are the details of what you call the transport arrangement. So if you are a Chiefs fan, and then you want to know, you want to go and see your team, and then here you are, join them. The price is only 120. So so we wish them good luck. So so those are some of the news that I wanted to share with you. But before I can leave, because now I'm preparing myself to buzz off now, let me share the last part of the news, which is information about the books to educate yourself, because that's what we always emphasize. Here is a book written by Nom Summers Bugo, an entrepreneur in Emalahleni. and then who runs a string of guest houses. And then this is one of the books that she wrote, Entrepreneur Awakening with the Drive. So it's up to you, but you can get them from us. And then here's another book for you. How to get out of bad debts, use other people's money and resources to get rich, because it's very important to understand this concept. If you understand this concept, you're on the way, to success. It takes a while. It's not an easy thing, but you need to deal with those issues. They come in and out, and don't be, ashamed. Everybody has debts, including the so-called big business. They also have them, and then, the difference between ordinary people and them is they have that a way of handling them. Remember when I talk about the Midas touch, I said this finger represents the character, the strength of your character. That's what will take you out of the misery. All right. And then so learn how others do it, and then you can also do it yourself. This is my second edition of the book called Secrets for Becoming Rich, which you can get it from us only. And then all these books, you can get it from us. And then I know Nomsa also sell his book from his business, so you can also buy those who knows Nomsa, and then in the part of Witbank, you can get the books there. So we'll watch the games very closely. I don't know what is your verdict. Will Chiefs live to regret the decision of selling the Ditlhokwe? Because the argument is they're still building. Because they're still building, why do you release a player that you may need? But the other side of the coin, Chiefs are saying, look, the coach does not use him much. And I'm sure they have communicated with the coach to find out, can we sell this player or what? And then they were getting a very good offer of money, which the money that they can use to ensure that they get other players. And then on Pirates' side, should Pirates use Saleng today to give him match fitness prior to the game with Mamelodi Sundowns on Thursday? But that's your choice as a fan out there, and then decide. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time and listening to us. Much appreciated. I thank you.